Have you ever wondered what the most influential Japanese anime in the US is? You might be surprised how it's radically changed American animation. Japanese anime broke the mold, showing dynamic Japanese anime characters struggling with nuanced emotions and concepts. You know, kid stuff like existentialism. With stunning animation, grounded storylines, deep characters, and serialized stories, the most successful anime reshaped American animated programming for years to come, influencing several American spins on the anime style. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are the most influential Japanese anime in the US. Yuu-Yuu Hakusho. A Japanese manga series that was adapted into an animated series in 1990, Yu-Yu Hakusho revolved around the story of a teenage delinquent named Yusuke Urameshi, who got struck and killed by a car as he sought to save the life of a child. After he was revived, he was appointed as an underworld detective to investigate the cases of demons and apparitions on Earth. 24. Berserk. Berserk aired in 1997 and centered around the life of an orphaned mercenary warrior named Guts, who called himself the Black Swordsman, as he served the Band of the Hawk. This is an intense anime filled with great action and some colorful scenes, which may not be appropriate for children. 23. Robotech. An anime television series that was released in 1982, Super Dimension Fortress Macross featured a love triangle among its major characters, plastered against the backdrop of battles that existed between aliens and humans. When shown in the US, it was retitled Robotech. It rose to fame because of Lin Min-mei, the pop star idol in the show, along with transforming air fighter units called Valkyries. 22. Code Geass. Code Geass was a Japanese anime series that was directed by Goro Taniguchi and written by Ichiro Okuuchi. Set in an alternate future, the story revolved around a former prince named Lelouch Lamperouge who obtained the Geass power and used it to destroy the Holy Britannian Empire. 21. Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied was a Japanese manga series created by Lin Okamoto. Its story revolved around the interactions, emotions, similarities, and differences between human beings and the Dicloni. The Dicloni are a mutant species that resemble humans in build, but have two horns and vectors. The anime series centered on the protagonist named Lucy, who sought revenge after being rejected by humans. 20. Dragon Quest. A Nintendo game adapted into an anime series in 1989, Dragon Quest had a total of 43 episodes, supervised by Horii, with characters similar to the original Dragon Quest game. The first 13 episodes of this anime series was translated into English and released in North America. 19. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. An anime series based on the manga series Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex revolved around the story of the members of a team called Public Security Section 9. Written and directed by Kenji Kamiyama, it first aired in Japan in 2002 and released in other parts of the world a year after. Its lead character, Agent Makoto Kusanagi, turned heads because of her beauty and fighting skills, which was crucial to the appeal of the series. 18. Mushishi. A manga series written and illustrated by Yuki Urushibara, Mushishi was adapted into an anime television series in 2005 and featured some ubiquitous creatures called Mushi. These characters had supernatural powers and had a purity beyond normal living things. The main character in the story, Ginkgo, was among the few who possessed the ability to interact with the divine Mushis. 17. Future Boy Conan. Future Boy Conan first aired in Japan and China in 1978 with the official title Conan, the Boy in the Future. The story was set in 2008, the time when humankind was already in the face of extinction. Its story revolved around a devastating war fought by two nations armed with ultramagnetic weapons. This war resulted in a series of earthquakes and other massive movements that eventually devastated the Earth until everyone else died, except for 3 survivors, including Conan. 16. D. Grayman. A Japanese manga series created by Katsura Hoshino, D. Grayman followed Alan Walker, a member of The Exorcists. an organization that made use of an ancient substance called innocence to fight the Millennium Earl and Akuma, its demonic army.
15.
Serial Experiments Lain. Directed by Ryutaro Nakamura, Serial Experiments Lain aired in Tokyo in 1998 and derived from a PlayStation game with the same title. It tackled philosophical concepts such as identity, communication, and reality. It focused on a teenage girl named Lain Iwakura, who was introduced to the internet and bound to a path that took her into the network of her own thoughts following her discovery of the God in the Wired.
14.
Planets. A Japanese hard science fiction manga created by Makoto Yukimura, Planets was adapted from a television series broadcasted between 2003 and 2004. The story was about a team of space debris collectors that boarded the Toy Box debris ship in the year 2075 to prevent the destruction of Earth's satellites.
13.
Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. An animated series based on the original Mobile Suit Gundam anime and created by Hajime Yatate and Yoshiyuki Tomino, it's about a war between planet Earth and its colonies in space. The pilots in this series were more closely allied in comparison to those in Gundam. This had a total of 49 episodes and borrowed its storyline from another series entitled War and Peace.
12.
Naruto. One of the most watched anime in the US, Naruto is an ongoing Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Masashi Kishimoto. The plot tells the stories of Naruto Uzumaki, an adolescent ninja who constantly dreams of becoming the next Hokage, the leader in the ninja village.
11.
Space Battleship Yamato. A science fiction anime series that featured an eponymous spacecraft, Space Battleship Yamato is an English-dubbed series that was broadcast on North American and Australian televisions as Star Blazers. It tells the story of a multinational teenage crew that journeyed through space to look for the planet Iskander. The antagonists were aliens called Rajendora, who prevented the crew from catching a glimpse of the planet that they were searching for.
10.
Full Metal Alchemist. Styled after the European Industrial Revolution, this story was set in a fictional universe where alchemy is the most advanced scientific technique known. The protagonists of the story, Edward and Alphonse Elric, were searching for the Philosopher's Stone, which was needed to restore their bodies following a failed attempt to revive their mother through alchemy.
9.
Saint Seiya. Adapted into an anime television series from 1986 to 1989, this story focuses on mystical warriors called saints who wore sacred armors called cloths. These saints pledged to protect the reincarnation of Athena in her fight against the Olympian gods, who sought to gain rule over the earth.
8.
Last Exile. Led by renowned director Koichi Chigira, Last Exile took place in the fictional world of Prester, where aerial vehicles dubbed as van ships were popular.
7.
Samurai Champloo. Taking place during the Edo period and characterized by its anachronistic hip-hop setting, this television series was the first directorial effort of Japanese director Shiichiro Watanabe, following the widely acclaimed Cowboy Bebop. It followed the swordsman Mugen and a brave young girl named Fu, who asked him to accompany her to Japan to find the samurai who smelled like sunflowers.
6.
Death Note. One of the most mind-bending anime around, Death Note featured a high school student named Light Yagami who discovered a supernatural notebook dropped on Earth by the god of death, Ryuk. This notebook granted its user the ability to kill anyone they could identify.
5.
Fist of the North Star. Illustrated by Tetsuo Hara and written by Bronson, Fist of the North Star was a Japanese anime series that took place in a post-apocalyptic world that had been destroyed by a nuclear war. The story of this anime series revolved around Kenshiro the Warrior, who was also the successor of a deadly martial art dubbed as Hokuto Shinken. The protagonist of this story dedicated his life to fighting against the Ravagers who took advantage of the poor and the innocent.
4.
One Piece. One Piece is a manga series that was skillfully written and illustrated by Ichiro Oda. The first episode of this series was released on December 24, 1997, and was about a young man named Monkey D. Luffy, whose body turned into rubber after accidentally gobbling up a devil's fruit. The story also revolved around the crew of pirates of Mr. Monkey Luffy, called Straw Hat Pirates, who accompanied him as he explored the ocean in search of a treasure called One Piece.
3.
Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is considered to be a Japanese animation masterpiece. It premiered in Japan in 1998 with a total of 26 episodes, and was among the most influential anime shown in America because it tackled the philosophical concepts of existentialism, loneliness, and nihilism. It was also adapted into 2 manga series.
2.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. Created and owned by Gainax, Shinseki Evangelion, more commonly known as Neon Genesis Evangelion, is one of the most popular anime of all time. Neon Genesis Evangelion was about a parliamentary organization that made efforts to fight against angels through the use of giant humanoids they called Evangelions. These Evangelions were piloted by a group of teenagers led by Shinji Ikari, the protagonist.
1.
Dragon Ball Z. A Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball Z was one of the most watched anime to have ever been shown in world television. Inspired by the classic novel in China entitled Journey to the West, it was about the adventures of Son Goku as he trained in martial arts from his childhood until he reached adulthood. He explored the world in search of the 7 Dragon Balls, with the capacity to grant wishes through the help of a wish-granting dragon. So, what about you? Did you have an anime that influenced you as a kid we didn't mention? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25.
Stay tuned to our video on Monday. We have a special holiday contest for you. Spoiler alert, there are prizes involved. Gift cards. These lights are so bright.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com. While you're there, make sure to join our newsletter for exclusive lists, prizes, and so much more. You really don't want to miss out on this.